Good afternoon and welcome to CTV Sports. I'm Dale Schwetz with Steve Lane, and we apologize about the late start today, but we had a tremendous amount of rain come through and a little bit of hail. In southern Florida, we live in the tropics. For the 2023 Eastern Challenge, we had to move from Field 2 at the Grand Champions Polo Club because of the weather to the Santa Rita Polo Farm. And Steve, the weather looks amazing.
So does the field. Look at it.
Perfect timing for it.
I mean, we saw water on all over. We drove around.
Unbelievable.
And water standing everywhere. And this field is, looks like it's has not seen a drop of rain. Nice and green. All 8 players out there, great colored jerseys, and looks like we are ready to rock.
Unbelievable. Look at that. Is that like this? The colors are just truly amazing. Gaston Dorniak will be our umpire right there in the yellow and black. Let's go with Casablanca. They're in the pink jerseys today. Melissa Gansey, she'll play the number 1. Mark Gansey, the Cobra, he'll play the number 2. Then Nick Rodan, he'll captain the team at the number 3 position. And Grant Gansey, double G, the ambassador, Casablanca, will play the number 4 position. Sebucan in the light jerseys, in the white jerseys, and this is a running and gunning team. Pablo, looks like you're going to have Gene Goldstein play the number 1 position. Pablo Polito will wear the number 2, and Frederick Mannix will wear the 3, and Jason Crowder will wear the 4. And Steve, all I got to say is these are 2 great combinations, these 2 teams. We're playing 12-goal polo, 12, 13-goal polo this week, and for the 2023 Eastern Challenge. We had a great round robin this morning. Congratulations to Travieso.
Yeah, Travieso back in the finals. And
dominated this morning.
Going to play the winner of this game right here. So we are underway. Gaston Dorniak is giving the ball to the players, and Jason Crowder is going to work things towards that north end of the field. We are on the west side, the center camera that you're looking at now on the west side. So a shot there by Crowder, and that ball's going to go over the end line, and we'll have our first knock-in of the game for the team in pink, and that is Double G, Grant Gansey, playing the defensive back position and going to bring the ball back in. We've got some spectators there as well, our die-hard polo fans, and glad to see them there. And, just love the color of that field. Grant Gansey hits the next shot back over to the left-hand side, looking for Papa Mark. And Mark now on a roll right here, and Mark taking it down along the left-hand side of the field. And Freddie Mannix right there going to come with him, and Mark still under control with the ball. Mark Gansey driving towards the south end. He's going to hit a cut shot, but into Pablo's pony and unable to keep the drive alive. And
field looks good.
It does look
especially
good.
After the rain that came through. I know that, the Grand Champions Polo Club's a bit, about a couple miles to the north, but pretty much in line from north to south, when you say, Steve?
Yeah, not too much as the crow flies,
Yeah, the crow flies, so the water just wasn't, you never know in South Florida. It could be raining on one side of the street and not on the other.
Last week it rained on field 2, but not on field 1.
You got it. It happened. So it looks great here because that was the first hard stop that we saw. And, of course, Gaston Dorniak, who keep control and keep an eye on the players, make sure everything stays safe. Double G on the ball.
Grant Gansey turning defense into offense, and Jason Crowder going to come with him right there. And Crowder, both these teams just making sure the field is dry and feeling each other out right now. And Nick Roldan picks up the Back shot intended for a teammate of Jason, but unable to get it there. And now he's going to send one downfield. And Jason Crowder going back to play defense. That pass going to fall just a little bit short of Melissa Gansey. But no, she comes back to get it and successfully does so. Melissa taking it over to the left-hand side. Nick Roldan, we saw this last week.
Yeah, a lot of this, the give and go.
With Nick staying up front, having the confidence in Melissa to hit the ball, and she can hit a long ball, and Nick calls for it when he's up there, and she's able to get the pass to him. But right now, Mark Gansey's going to pick one off away from Freddie Mannix. Mark going to turn it back towards the center of the field, and then take the long way around. He's actually doing a nickaroo the opposite way.
Yes, he was. Going for the big ball here. This guy's been playing great polo, too. Fred Mannix wearing the 3 today. Keep an eye on him. Once this white team gets running, you got to watch out. They are a running-gunning team. Pablo Polito on the ball now, and he's also been fabulous here in the spring season. But a great combination with as a Goldstein on front, and this is what they do well here, Steve. Hit and run. Big balls.
All 4 of them can hit and run and not afraid to run. And Nick Roldan, he's going to keep feeding those balls up front, taking the ball over to the corner. Gene Goldstein staying right there with him. And now Nick Roldan releases the ball downfield, but it's going to be Polito. Polito turning it back. Got Crowder backing him up. Right there, Mark has no play. He would have crossed the line and the right of way should he have made a play. And Grant Gansey on the ball. But Fred Mannix coming in here with enough time and a nice pass right up to the stirrup of Gene Goldstein. And Gene, one time, one tap, puts it on through. First goal of the game.
Yeah, perfect example how they'll be running this team all day long. It's going to be the 1-2-3 combination. You're not going to be able to pick which 1-2-3 players are going to hit. They're going to be on a rotation. They'll probably keep Gino out in the front. You get the rotation of Pablo and Fred and Crowder behind them, but you also will see Gene go to the back. So I'm thinking you're probably going to see this all day, similar plays like that. As we go to Casablanca, the breakdown there, well, Melly's going to stay in the front early. They'll try to get big balls to her from Nick and Granty, who's been hitting the ball good, 120, 110, 120. The Cobra's going to run the middle. He's going to have the tough job.
Yeah.
He's going to be in the middle there. He's got to go where he's working with Frederick. He's got to keep an eye on Frederick or Jason. So he's going to be working a lot of defense. It's going to be interesting to see because him scored 8 goals last week and 4 of them at full speed on Olay. Mara won the MVP, best playing pony last week. A little different game now. He's going to have to change his game up, Logan. It's going to be interesting to see how he goes against Crowder because, remember, Melly's going to be out front. They're going to use her as a target. I would think they'd use her as a target early to see how they adjust back to him.
Yeah, and if Casablanca doesn't have the ball, then Mark Gansey's got to be looking around for Freddie Mannix.
Yeah, he's got to work. He's got to play some defense today. Double G's done a great job with Nick, and when he does do a good job playing the defense side, Grant, which I love to see, it gives Nick a chance to go forward, so hence the give and go from Melissa. So Melly can pick the ball up at the 100, turn, and hit a 20 or 30-yard shot, and Nikki's usually on the fly, and he's been scoring goals doing it. So we'll see if they get it going here. As this Sebucan, we have our first Kersey change of the day, 2:35 on the clock. And I just love South Florida. An hour ago, it was hailing. We had hail falling down, and now look at it's beautiful out there.
It certainly is, and things are greening up. Gaston Dorniak, our international umpire, throws the ball back into the players, and Casablanca winning a bowl in right there, and there goes the Cobra on the loose. He is spitfiring towards that goal off to the left-hand side, but he's got a handy pony, and he's going to go for the back shot. Nice approach shot over in the front. Will it stay on the field? And yes, it does. And just nobody home right there to finish off that play. So now there is Pablo Polito making a nice pass over to Crowder. Crowder one times it back down the center of the field where he's got Mannix and Goldstein. And Gino Goldstein with a shot on the ground. Nick Roldan goes back to see where he should back the ball to, but he decides to turn it. Allow his team to reset. Nick Roldan sends it back up the field, and he's got Melissa out there, but that pass is going to fall a little bit short. But, wait a minute. Melissa's right there on the ball where Polito had no play, and Melissa turns the ball around now waiting for somebody to go up front, and there goes Mark Gansey calling for the ball right there, and Melissa puts it up to him. Mark just able to check and reach back. Polito was not quite on the line, so a good play there by Mark Gansey, and now that gives Polito Time to turn things back around after Mannix hooked Mark Gansey out of the play. Double G comes in there, and now Polito on the near side. Grant Gansey has to go to the spur, hooking out Polito, and Nick Roldan underneath his pony's neck. Now on the near side, going to turn it back towards the center with a deep neck shot where Mark and Melissa Gansey are. So who's going to be the first to arrive on Nick's shot? Right through the goal. So
that'll make you chuckle, won't? I mean, when it leaves the screen and it ends up through the post, you gotta love it. You're gonna get a great shot of this though here from our end zone cam. Watch this play. This is true pro polo. Hello, here it comes, and you're gonna see the high flag pretty early here. Watch this. One bounce and dead center.
Yep, not needing any help
and
on
that's
that
a perfect play because that's almost a layup shot for Melissa for the tap in, and then that's why you always have the drive for show and putt for dough. And there you go. That's going to finish our first Chucker play, 1-1. And looks like both teams still trying to feel each other out, but some good plays going on. So we will be back after this commercial break. 2023 Eastern Challenge. Welcome back to CTV Sports. I'm Dale Schwartz with Steve Lane and a great commercial there, Brookshire. Scott Wood.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
I tell you what, it just gets my adrenaline going watching those commercials with the
you know,
World Polo League.
remember the Polo for Pride and World Polo League Pride. So remember WPLPride.com. Get your tickets. That's a big weekend for us.
Yes, it certainly
is. Helping the It Gets Better project.
Uh-huh.
And they do an amazing job. So that's a fun weekend. It's a great way to end our spring season and kiss everybody goodbye and then start hugging everybody in Aspen.
Yep, there you go.
There we go, 1-1 after the first Sharker. If you're just joining us, we do apologize about a late start for our second game here in the Eastern Challenge 2023. Congratulations once again to Travieso, Michael, and Teo Calle, Nito Yaranga, and Camacho Pierres, and they played a very solid game this morning, Steve Lane. Everybody scoring goals, 3 by Michael, 4 by Teo. Nito was just working, and 2 by Camacho. They're going to be tough in the finals. They played against Santa Rita and Fly Polo. And here, though, in our second game, as Melissa Gansey is going to get the one-timer and one-time Melly on the move. And this is what we talked about, Steve Lane. I don't want to say that I'm picking it right, but hit the big ball. Nick Roldan, and you get Melly about, 50 lengths out in front, no one's going to catch her.
Yeah, I don't mind if you say I told you so.
But a perfect play here, and they're going to line out to do this. She's been spectacular around the goal, but it is Melissa Gansey playing number 1 at Casablanca, and Mark, a.k.a. the Cobra, number 2, Nick playing the 3, Roldan, NR, and Grant Gansey, double G, playing the number 4. So fun seeing the 3 Ganseys playing together here with Nick. But Sebucan in the light jersey, light blue, Gene Goldstein, who already has 1 goal on the day, playing the 1. Pablo Polito playing the 2. Fred Max playing 3, and Jason Crowder.
So Nick Roldan directing where he'd like Grant Gansey to go, and a nice long back shot right there, but picked up by Crowder on the near side. Crowder looking over his shoulder to see where to go with his back shot, and he's going to choose Freddie Mannix. Freddie Mannix takes it to the inside, got to get around Grant Gansey, and Grant Gansey, that ball deflected over towards the center off of Gansey's pony. Oh, little miscommunication right there between Nick and Grant Gansey, and Freddie comes in and one-times it right up to Gene Goldstein. Gene Goldstein avoids the hook of Nick Roldan, and that ball just wide to the left-hand side.
Yeah, nice pass here by Freddie. I've really enjoyed watching him play this whole season, actually, for the Audi team also in World Polo League. Played very well.
Yeah.
Horse is looking great. Breeding operation, doing amazing down in Argentina. Congratulations to that.
Yeah, and they used to have a farm up in Montana, too.
Yeah.
Fred Mannix did.
And the breeding.
Yep.
Big shout out to Fred Sr. If you're watching tonight, sir, we love you, Fred. He should be out in Indio, out in Palm Desert, actually, Colorado. Goes back and forth. He might be going back up north now, as it's getting warmer.
Back up to Calgary, Alberta, Canada.
Yep. Alberta, beautiful. Ostoks.
Yep, got a nice big farm. Fred does.
Beautiful up there
with a private field there.
Beautiful,
too, as well.
Just a truly stunning place. Got to tell you. 2-1 here, back and forth, as both teams have been, just trying to feel each other out. We get a change of possession. So a cop on the pitch. Freddie's going to have to hit this one time as that ball is inside the 60-yard line, so he's got to pass it or shoot it. Crowder. Oh, a very tight play there. Well done by Nick after he was missed to pull out of there and make sure that he didn't slow Jason down. Jason went with the tail shot, almost put it away. Here's a good shot of Grant Gansey. Going from horse to horse. Perfectly executed. Well done, double G. And there's my man, Roki, Grant Gansey's head trainer, manages his barn, takes care of all his 4-legged athletes with the group. And so look at that. I'll put us into our Kersey change number 3:33 on the clock.
So, yeah, the second of the day, and, of course, Casablanca, congratulations to them as well for winning their own cup last weekend in the finals, the Casablanca Spring Challenge, where Casablanca comprised of Melissa Gansey, Riley Gansey, Nick Roldan, and Grant Gansey. So that team, the only switch today is Riley is out, Mark is in.
Yeah, you got it. He plays for Santa Rita. We have Rebecca Cohen. She played, and she's a graduate of the Polo School this year. First year, Riley with 3 goals on the day today. Juan Belina and Alejandro. And then we had Fly Pole with Ray Raful, Sugar Erskine, Luis Escobar, and Pablo Spinacci. That was this morning on the same field. As we said, we had to switch fields. We were going to play on field 1 and 2, and I want to thank all our fans that were actually coming out to the game, but we just had a quick storm come through. So we moved to the Santa Rita Polo Farm, and here we go. As that's a clean steal, and I like the non-call, and Pablo Polito is going to get his first goal today.
Pablo Polito, yeah. Mark Gansey was looking for the whistle right there, but that looked like a clean steal to me, too, as well. And Pablo Polito just takes it on in for a goal, and that's going to put a set of 2s on the board right now. And I don't know what Mark was looking for right there.
Yeah, no, Pablo was clean, no intimidation. He came in nice and soft, you know what I mean?
Yep.
And that would be the only thing you'd look for there, just because Mark was kind of at a different speed. But Pablo playing very well. I told you, I'd love to see him in the World Polo League.
I would, too, at 2 goals, and he's worth every bit of 2 goals as well.
And he loves playing with speed and energy. He got some good horses. Been playing great polo. Here we go. They're going to take control here, push it out in front. Controlled, though, by Nicky. Roldan in the field again. It seems like it's holding up very well. Nice quick turn there by Nick. No problem with the 4-legged athlete. as Gaston Dorniak will always keep an eye on that. Turned around nicely, Fred. Looking for Pablo or Jason. Oh, and the boys are working hard on defense now. Nick, he gets it out in front, though. Well done. Sword fight. Ooh, Nick, good sword fighting there with Jason. He's going to win that one. Loose ball play. Who's going to get there first? Look at this. Going to be Fred. And here comes Sebucan.
Freddie Mannix taking that pass. Jason Crowder breaking, having Nick Roldan hear footsteps from his pony, and Freddie Mannix. What a nice back shot there by Crowder, and Freddie Mannix finishing off the play. One tap right on through. Excuse me, that was Pablo Polito on the back shot. And Pablo putting it right out there. Nice approach shot. He didn't try and score the goal from the back shot. Just wanted to put it out front where his team would have a chance, and Freddie Mannix is not going to miss that opportunity. And right now, Freddie says, hey, I got one at the north end. Well, let me try this south end down here and see what I can do. So Freddie Mannix looking over his shoulder. Just a little touch, and that's going to finish it off. So 2 goals back-to-back right here from Fred Mannix. One at the north, one at the south.
Yeah, I'm liking the chestnut here. This pretty horse runs really easy. Look at Freddie just keeping out in front there. Nick knew he had no play. He's got to stay back in the rumble seat and hope for the miss. But look at this mare. Carries her head just perfectly straight. Freddie just looks like he's doing for a walk and a ride in the power care. And a great finish there. 2 in a row. Give them a 2-goal lead. They're getting another bowl in right before the 30-second warning bell. Fred, again, now leaves it for Gene. Grant's going to get in the mix. Gene looking for Pablo. Good rotation here by Nick.
Nick with a strong back shot, trying to get a little offense going here before the end of the chukker. Mark Gansey comes through, hooked out of there by Freddie Mannix. Jason Crowder is going to beat Grant Gansey on the back shot, but don't fear because Nick Roldan is coming through clear, and Nick Roldan sets it up for Mark Gansey. Does he have enough time? And a shot there by Gansey, and just wide, so that's going to end chukker number 2. So stay with us for the third and final chukker of the first half of the 2023 Eastern Challenge Cup.
We were excited to start. Field was amazing. We knew that it was a really tough team that we had against. Mark always puts a really strong team in the field, and it was Gilberto's first game, tournament, and everything. So happy that he did good. I used to play a lot with Pablo when I was younger. We were cousins and we played a lot of kids tournament together until we played the Open together. Then a few years we play against each other, and now we had the opportunity to play back again, and it feels really good. I have a lot of connection, and with Alejandro I played last year here with Melissa. He's a great defender, a great back. He plays really simple. He understands the game really good, so he makes things simple. And Gilberto, I think he had a really good game. Yeah, I think yes. Well, this is a single elimination tournament, so winning today was keeping one foot in the tournament. So it was really nice now that we have another game in the weekend to keep playing, and yes, a lot of fun.
I know 'cause I try asking. Now I see through your habits, just like gadgets. You tell me with the two hands, I'm too bad. Wonder what you think so like. So sit down, listen, think for a minute. Though it might be hard, 'cause you're uneducated. Break down, face it, breathe for a minute. I'm about to help you with your manners and respect.
Third chucker action, 2023 Eastern Challenge. And we get a quick goal here on the knock-in. So we get a steal. Watch this. It's just a missed broken play. And, well, Steve Lane, we've seen this all year. Anytime there is a broken play on very good fields, you need to watch out.
Well, Mark Gansey redeeming himself after missing that shot at the end of the second chukker, comes back and picks up that play. Freddie Mannix not getting a hold of the whole ball, and allows Mannix to meet it cleanly, and 2 taps right on through. And here's Mark Gansey going towards that north goal one more time. And again, Freddie Mannix paired up with Gansey, and that ball off the post, and Mark Gansey knew just where to put it. And, you know, Dale, we talked in the first chucker about what Mark has to do with Freddie Mannix and vice versa.
Yeah, I told you. Yeah, you're going to have to deal with them. And we were just talking about the PGA National Golf Championship. And I thought, what's that third goal we seen today that's hit the goalpost and gone in?
Yeah.
The Masters shot here. We'll call it the PGA Championship, seeing that's going on. And just a nice stroke here by Gansey to stay out in front of Fred. And now look at this. Same thing that Freddie did last chucker. Now the Cobra, two for two.
Look at Melissa. Gets the ball out of the bowl and knew where Grant was. And the ball right underneath her pony's neck, right over to Grant Gansey. And now Mark on the ball right now. Freddie Mannix in the play one more time. And these two are going to be paired up the entire game. And Freddie Mannix going to work it and send it back over here to the near side of the field where Jason Crowder was coming down the left-hand side of the field of Mannix. And now Crowder going to slow things down, work it around, and then send a shot back up to Mannix. So a give and go right there. Mannix unable to get all of it going. And now Mark Gansey. Mark Gansey staying just ahead. Got Nick Roldan behind. Has Melissa over in the center as well as Grant Gansey, but unable to get the angle on that shot. But Grant has enough time and loses his mallet head on the play. So now we've got a little bit of a 3-on-4 situation, but don't count Grant out just because he doesn't have a mallet, because Nick Roldan is going to give him time to go and retrieve one. Even though a player doesn't have a head on their mallet, they can still gain the right of way and draw a foul.
Yeah, you know, I learned that lesson when I was 2 goals. As Memo broke his mallet, and I said, I got him. And I just went in there figuring I could do whatever I wanted. And he just stood with his mallet in the air, and I fouled him. You want to learn a rule the hard way? I learned the hard way, Steve.
Yep.
That gave him timeout. He had a penalty shot. He went and got a new mallet and then made the penalty shot. So you got to be careful. Just because you lose your head on the mallet does not mean that the player still does not have the line of the ball.
No.
He doesn't even need a mallet in his hand, right?
No, and actually a lot of times we'll see a low goal player give the higher goal player their mallet. And they'll go off, and actually I was doing a game where Tim Gannon was playing with Adolfo, and Adolfo broke his mallet, and Tim Gannon gave him his mallet. And then Tim said to me the next chucker, he says, "Hey, did you see that 10-goal play I made?" I said, "Yeah, sure did."
Yeah, that wasn't good. That's a 12-goal play, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Giving your mallet up. We've seen that a couple times this year. On the knock-in, and I like when they open it up as we after our courtesy change here. So remember, everybody on fresh legs, and this has been a very clean first half. We'll be able to watch our stats after this chucker. Sebucan, when they open it up, they really get rolling, and this is how they get it done. But great save, but on the doorstep, Double G gets a piece of it, but Crowder gets the finish.
New mallet. He wasn't used to that new mallet that he just replaced.
Yep.
So, Jason Crowder picked it up right here. Grant's going to try and get it back over where Nick Roldan could get on it, but unable
bad
to
luck,
do so.
bad luck. So. He had Nicky going the other way, just bad luck. I like this. Like when Sebucan opens it up, though, Steve. They get things going. And this is the School of Memo Gracita. That ball got a little bit of a little shake on it there. But School of Memo Gracita, hit it up in there. Let's see what happens.
Yeah. Yep. At least leave it on the field.
Yeah,
Don't
leave it on the field. Make them make a play. If they don't get it done, Let's try to bounce off it. Here's a good shot down in the pits, as I like to say. And you'll see there's Roki once again. Here comes Double G. See how they pull up right next to him. Usually the trainer will be on the other side just in case. Pablo says, "I'm going to jump down." Nice looking little bay pony there. Pablo riding. Mounted very well. Getting a lot out of his horses.
He is.
The way he plays, his style.
Yeah. Yeah,
I love that.
Like I say, he's 2 goals and worth every bit of it.
Yeah, he pulls the team, man. He rotates around. He loves to play defense too. Good shot of Pablo Spinacci. Played this morning right there on the left side. And there's Lisa. And there's Tamacho, who actually works as a pilot. As we call it a pilot, just like they fly an airplane. 2 top pros right there, and they are also a big part of the Santa Rita breeding operation. They play in the World Polo League, but they also work and manage the young 4-legged athletes that are being brought up. Some of the babies are bred, some of the babies are bought, and they do a great job. Amazing job. And also Tamacho keeps an eye on Mark Gansey, Cobra's string of horses, because Mark's a busy man. and does travel a lot. So sometimes he's not in town for the practice games, in which Camacho will practice the horses.
Right, keep them tuned up.
And play in the tournament. As I said, he double dipping, triple dipping. They do an amazing job, though. Those guys are so. If you sit at dinner with them one night and talk to them about horses, man, you will learn an immense amount of information that they understand about a horse.
So Nick turns that ball back, but Grant Gansey coming down, and we've got a quick whistle right there. And
I'm not sure he did it because he hit it, just got hit. They didn't foul, did he?
I don't think he fouled anybody
No,
right
they
there.
Just kind of hit each other. So I think he was just waiting to make sure they're okay.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you could call a foul for dangerous riding here, but you'll probably get just a fair play bowling or something, I would think, or no?
I would think a fair play bowling.
Yeah, I mean, they were just kind of one guy's going one guy away, one player's going the other. Now, you can call foul on two players running into yours, but not that type, not that style of play.
Right, absolutely, you can. And actually, it took us a while as professional umpires to realize, you stop the game because two players on their own teammates run into each other.
Well, a lot of times I used to let guys run each other over full speed when I was umpire because I thought it was okay when they're on the same team.
It's their own penalty.
So, yeah, well, they're on the same team. What's the problem? But it is in the rules. But this is a situation where you have two guys that's going, and he could have let that play if he wanted to, but just to check everybody out, make sure everybody was safe. Because Nick did get hit on the wrist there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he was just checking it out, but they're ready to go. Here we go on the fair play bowling. Back to the action. Freddie.
Maddox
that ball
gets
looked like he was on
underneath
fire
it.
there.
Yep. And
Watch out there, Nick. He almost hit that with his fist, but here comes Roldan.
Roldan staying just ahead of Crowder, and these two pros going at each other. And Nick, he's going to leave it for Mark Gansey. Mark falling in behind, and now has Mark up front. Double G will turn around, get that ball. Oh, and we saw that play between Pablo, and this time we're going to get a whistle.
This might be a little bit more intimidation there.
Yeah. Yeah.
On the 90 here.
Well, Freddie coming in at speed here.
And at the angle right here, Freddie coming across. See, he's a little bit over the top of it there. And a little NASCAR rub, I like to say.
Yep.
You love that NASCAR rub.
Yeah,
You
I
love
do.
when I use that term, NASCAR rub?
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of people don't understand what it is, but you're such a big NASCAR fan.
Well, and some of those commentators will say, "Oh, they're swapping paint."
Oh, there you go.
So
there you go.
And that's why sometimes I say, they're rubbing knee pads, on a ride off, or
you got it.
whatever. And this morning, Riley and somebody else, they were rubbing saddle pads on a ride off.
We've seen a lot of great, but very clean ride offs here. This is going to be just a little bit of rub. They're going to move the ball. I like the ball placement here, as nobody really going anywhere. And here you go. Good play, Jason.
Jason uses his pony to block the ball and send a worm burner down the field right up to Gene Goldstein. And Gene Goldstein, he's got nobody to pass to, but he's going to take it himself, hit a long shot, hoping that ball will settle. And now Nick Roldan's going to take it forward, allowing Grant Gansey. And Grant Gansey's going to go to the outside and expect that back shot from Nick, which is exactly where Nick puts it. Now Grant dribbling it forward one time, and Pablo Polito, he's too far out for a hook. And now Freddie Mannix coming back. Got Jason Crowder. Is Jason going to turn? That's a little bit of a funny play right there, but that's okay. Mark keeps it going successful for an offense, and Freddie Mannix going to take it on the near side, put it to his offside, and no foul here because he kept his horse straight. And that's
Well
the
done.
whole
Great
key
play,
on
huh?
that play. Yes, it is.
Very nice play.
So Fred Mannix releases a bomb downfield, and he's got two runners and gunners. Polito going to take out Nick Roldan, allowing Gene Goldstein to come through. Gene couldn't quite keep that ball going. And now, who's got the handy pony? Grant Gansey turns back around, and now go on offensive drive. Polito staying with him. Polito's going to drop back and allow Fred Mannix to take Grant Gansey out. Grant Gansey ridden off by Mannix in a shot over towards the center. And now Polito's coming as well, but Nick Roldan has enough time. Couldn't quite keep a handle on that ball, and now a shot downfield. Sebucan on a drive, but Gene Goldstein's over in the center, and the ball's over to the near side of the field. So Roldan's going to send it over by the boards where Grant Gansey is, and Grant Gansey going to have to jump the boards if he wants an offensive play, which he does. And now Mannix comes in on the near side, picks it off, and it looks like that is going to be the end of the first half. Right here, stay with us. We've got three more exciting chuckers to go. We've got our stats coming up, and we'll show you how these teams have ranked out so far here in the first half, Dale.
There you go, 5-4. Very close game. It's going to be close all over. 8-6. Pretty there. Look at that. 3 knock-ins for Casa, 2 for Sebucan. Pretty similar. Throw-ins, though, a little different here. Sebucan winning about 50% more, so that's a lot of possessions. But look at that. Very clean. Only 1 foul and keeping it safe out there. So there you go. First half stats. Thank you, guys. Well done. Good shot of my man Gaston Dorniak on a beautiful gray pony. We're going to go to, I think, just a little break here. And we'll keep an eye on the players. But we'll be back for our third Chucker play. Stay with us here on CTV Sports.
My favorite part about AVSC is seeing all my friends. I have so many friends here at AVSC and USASA, and don't know what I would do without them. Just hanging out with my coach. Hanging out with my coach would be really fun too, but I just need friends too, you know? Everybody needs friends.
AVSC is like a really fun place because you can like jump to new friends and get to ski a lot of places.
When you see kids, they are smiling, they are happy, they are laughing, they are telling jokes, they are just glowing with excitement, and that just makes me feel confident that we are really doing something right, and that's really what it's all about.
You know, this is ABFC's largest fundraiser for our club, you know, and I think the true importance of this is we're making a conscious effort to make sure that kids in the Roaring Fork Valley have the opportunity to get on snow, ski, and snowboard.
So I've been a part of the Aspen Valley Ski Club since I was 10 years old, and growing up in the valley was a really special experience because you're open to so many different opportunities, and one of which is being able to ski. And I never really thought that my dreams would come true, but now Aspen Valley Ski Club has allowed me to ski for a living, and I can never be more grateful for being a part of the club.
We love ABSC! We love ABSC!
Today's high temperature is 8 degrees above normal. Experts are warning that if the
Don't let them in, don't let them see. Be the good girl you always have to be. Conceal, don't feel, don't let them know. Well, now they know. Let it go, let it go. Can't hold it back anymore. Let it go, let it go. Turn away and slam the door. I don't care what they're going to say. Let the storm rage on. Cold never bothered me anyway.
Welcome back. As I told you, pretty quick halftime there with both our teams. So if you're just joining us here for the second half, I'm Dale Schwetz with Steve Lane, CTV Sports 2023 Eastern Challenge. Game number 2. Travieso, Michael, and Teo Calle, Nito, Mariano Uranga, Tamacho Pierres preparing themselves for the finals, be on Sunday. And today, though, right here in the pink, Casa Blanca with Melissa Ganzi, Mark Ganzi, Grant Ganzi, and Nick Rodan. Nick actually playing the 3, and Grant playing the 4. And scored 4 goals in the first half. That pretty nice. 1 goal by Melissa, 2 by Grant Mark, and 1 by Nick. And then Sebucan in the white, red, white, and blue, actually. All over the place. They got all the colors out there. And Gene Golsey playing the 1 with 1 goal on the in the first half. Pablo Polita with 1. Fred Mannix playing the 3 and scoring 2 goals. And Jason Crowder wearing number 4, and he's got a goal. So they split it up very well, Steve. And, Grant's been playing a lot of defense. So Melly on the move.
Melissa driving that ball towards goal, and we've seen this shot before. And, will we see it again? No, just barely overcutting that ball, but a nice shot. Nice attempt. Nick Roldan feeding it up to Melissa. Melissa out front where she's supposed to be. Just overcuts that ball. And you know what? That goal post, about 8 inches wide. That ball about 4 inches wide. So missing that in line just by a foot.
No, she's been deadly around the goal. As they were calling her one-time manager for a while because she was just hitting every ball the first time and scoring goal everywhere between 40 and 60 yards. And doing a great job pulling the team. It's been working very well. And it looks like we're going to get a whistle here to stop the clock as they came together. And I wasn't sure if Melissa didn't jump on that right away. We'll see the replay here. See if Melissa doesn't get on the right there. And, yeah, it looked to me like she had a lesser angle. And we'll see where they put this ball. But, Steve, I think Melissa was more on the line than anybody.
Yeah, I think so. And she also had a teammate coming down the line, too.
Yeah, so that means she got Mark going forward there. So you might see the open goal.
Freddie just across there, just a little bit too much, and took too much time on that play and allowed Melissa to close the gap in the window. And so, therefore, a penalty 2 coming in favor of Casablanca. So this could tie things up here in the fourth chukker. Our scoring 1-1 at the end of the first, 4-2 in favor of Sebucan at the end of the second, and 5-4 at halftime. And now Grant Gansey on this 30-yard undefended penalty 2. And Grant powers it right on through. So a tie ball game once again. Grant Gansey scoring undefended 30-yard shot.
Yeah, well done, WG. That's a nice stroke right there. I like to see a penalty shot contest between Melissa, Grant, and Riley and Mark, the whole family.
Yeah, don't forget to throw Mark in
there. From that area, all four of them are pretty. It'd be a fun competition. We got to bring that into the skills of the game.
Yeah, there you go.
The family competition. Like for the Family Feud Family Edition or the Superstars, the Skills of the Game Family Edition.
Yeah, there you go.
There we go. Gene Goldstein now. He's going to win this one out of the bowl. And Gino, he's been doing a good job pulling the team. And like I said, had one goal in the first chukker on the rotation, loose ball play. And Grant, I guess he thought that ball was going more across, but I think it might be good non-call.
Freddie just fed the line right to Pablo, and Pablo was on it. I had that ball going up and down the field.
I think a little more. I think Grant, may be thinking, some players, remember, you got to be 100% on it. Sometimes when you're just off to that side, it can look like you're 100%, but compared to the footage there. So, Pablo Pulido will pick up his second of the day. One in the second chukker, one in the fourth. And Sebucan still staying to their team polo here, mixing it up very well.
Back to that 1-goal lead and back to the bowling we go. And Sebucan with Freddie Mannix headed towards that south end of the field, trying to make it a 2-goal lead with a line drive down the field. And is there anybody home down there? There doesn't need to be anybody home because Freddie's just going to send it right through the goal post. And so at halftime, we saw Sebucan winning some bowl-ins, and they're continuing to do that same thing. So.
Oh, that's just driving it home right there. I mean, look at this ball. You're going to get a great view of this. Watch Freddie Maddox keep his head down and just follow through, and that's a perfect shot. That ball's going to go about 10 yards past the goal, and he shot it from a good 100. So, yeah, you can't do anything to defend that one.
No.
That's just a perfect goal.
All you can do is chase him down the field and hope he hears footsteps behind. And it takes a little concentration off of him. But
Did you say pray? All you do is pray, yep.
Yeah, pray.
Hey, get the app, CTV Sports. Remember the Chucker TV app, of course, everybody. Thank you for getting on it. Get the CTV Sports app and tell a friend. That's all we ask. And we got the foot golf going on there.
Yep.
And that's been very, very competitive up in Orlando. But there's so much more on there you will see. So get the CTV Sports app. And like I said, tell a friend. And remember, we're going to play on Sunday. Weather will always be on the scheduling. So make sure you check all the scheduling on every day. You've been playing Friday, Sunday here in the spring. And this tournament, 2 tournaments left, adding the WPL Pride.
Right.
Where you can go to WPLPride.com and get tickets for our final. Yep.
And don't waste any
spring
time.
Season.
Don't waste any time doing that.
Don't waste any time.
that fills up quickly. A lot of people come to the
Yeah,
Polo
that's
and
a
Pride.
big deal. Here we go.
One more weekend, but 2 tournaments. And right now, Melissa Gansey sending the ball up to Nick Roldan, which we've seen in the last 2 weekends. And now Nick Roldan going to do a little sweep shot on the near side, sending it on through and bringing that 2-goal lead back down to 1 still in favor of Sebucan. But Nick Roldan closing the margin.
Yeah, that's good. That's good polo also. Here, Freddie could do nothing. Nick gets to the first ball, but watch how he takes it. He hits that right to his near side, and then he goes over to ride Fred Mannix off, and Fred just can't do anything there. He's got to hope for the miss. Or did I say pray again?
Yeah.
Because, again, that's not going to happen with those two guys. They're playing so well. Back and forth, 7-6. Here we go. Nick getting a lot done on the gray pony right here. Taking it out in front, keeping it out in front of Fred. He's going to go by himself. He's got the 2 big guns right there. Somebody's got to be open somewhere. Nicky looking around the field. Look at this ball. Perfectly set up for the Cobra. Well done, Jason.
And Cobra also knew he couldn't flatten out at the angle he was coming at, so he wisely didn't make a play.
Yeah, this is even a better play. Melissa meets the ball cleanly, puts the pressure on Pablo. Polito gets a piece of it, but it bounces off his pony in the school of Memo Grosito once again. Steve Lane hit it down there to see what happens, and look what happens.
Yes, exactly, right into his own pony. He was trying to do a little bit of a near-side tail shot, and we could tell by his body language after the shot that he was.
So we'll give that one to Melly?
Yeah, I think so.
Bad luck there for Pablo. I saw he was trying to go across. I don't know if he's trying to open. Let's see if he was trying to go for the tail. Yeah, it looked like he was trying to go for the tail. And that's it. You got to watch out there right in the goal mouth. 7-7 now. Good chucker right here. They tie it up. 3-2. Both teams scoring. Nick's got to go back on defense now as we click down under 2 minutes. Second half action. 2023 Eastern Challenge. Nice ball, Nick. Cobra's going to jump on this one. He's got time. Doesn't need to rush. Going to shut it down on the boards here. Uses the boards perfectly. Gets himself lined out. Now he'll open it up a bit. Now looking for Melly. She should be out there, but Grant, no, rotation. So now you're seeing a different play here by Casablanca. Melissa rotating back a bit, kind of letting the boys run through. Good pickup by Grant Gansey. Leaves it behind there, but what a pickup on the near side. That's going to give, look at Nick, all the time in the world to just pick it up and the slam dunk.
So Casablanca going out in front by 1 goal right here after that goal by Nick Roldan. So this is the first time I believe that Casablanca's been in the lead. Looking over everything, Dale.
100%. First lead they had. 4 goals here in the fourth chucker. That's good polo. And mixing it up well. I like the rotation from Melissa. She's kind of just falling back a little bit. They're pushing Grant up a little bit. And now you're getting a different 3-man rotation, and Melissa's done well following the play. So that'll end our 4th chucker play. Stay with us. We'll be right back for our 5th chucker Eastern Challenge.
Number 1 leading his team as always. They call him the Cobra. Give it up for Mr. Mark Gansey. Then at number 2, our second 10-goaler of this match. Give it up for Hedda Castagnola, ladies and gentlemen. Number 3, there is only one man that can, and that is Mr. Nick Roldan. There he is. And at number 4, all the way from the Great White North from Canada. Please give it up for the one and only Mr. Fred Mannix.
Team Audi, World Polo League. Love that video.
Yeah.
A lot of fun, huh?
Like I
that
say,
was great. We were complimenting that team where we showcase different teams as we go along. As you can see, they're showcasing Audi there. And Hetta Casanola just coming out as the only 10-goaler in the world in all the different countries, the 4 top, right?
Yep, all 3 associations.
All 3 associations. So congratulations, Hetta. And I think it's I think we got Facundo's birthday today. Pierre.
Oh, is that right?
Marco. Happy birthday, Facundo.
Yep, and he's
My brother.
playing over across the pond for Park Place.
Yeah.
You know, and that just shows you how much our sport changes.
Uh-huh.
You know, he played for Curtis Pilot here in the United States.
Oh, yeah, what a dude. What a
Played
dude.
against Park
First
Place
class,
a lot.
class act. His brother Gonzalez, of course, cousin. Tamachos, they're cousins.
Yep.
El Primos. And but just fantastic family. Gonzalo Pires, he was my favorite player when I was a kid. When I watched him come up, you know, watching the players come, he fascinated me, man. Just watching that guy play, unbelievable. All right, here we go. Fifth chuck reaction. As Steve said, first time in this game, Casablanca took a lead.
Polito, he's trying to change that around though. Polito, trying to get by Grant Gansey. Mark Gansey comes along, but Polito still in control of the ball. And now Grant Gansey has clear out of the way. Polito puts one over towards the center, right towards Jason Crowder. Jason Crowder, a little bit of bad luck right there, and Nick Roldan able to take a back shot dangerously across the center, and Freddie Mannix with a near side back shot, and that's going to allow Jason Crowder to pick up that pass and send it on through. So we are knotted up once again at 8 apiece. And there's the play right there. Nick Roldan's back shot into Jason's pony, and that allows Frederick to go and make a near side back shot. Read well by Jason Crowder, and Jason Crowder is going to finish it off. So
yeah, this is a nice finish here. I like the way Freddie puts it in between everybody. Pablo almost got a piece of it, but Jason with the reverse neck shot.
Yep, backwards neck shot.
Yeah.
In fact, we'll talk about neck shots when we get a break in the action about where that ball should be for a great neck shot.
That's a perfect example right there to talk about. Yep, here comes Nick. Went for the near side neck shot. Got to get the ball, the shot he wanted. But like you were saying, Steve, that shot there you could really see because he actually had the ball on the other side of the horse, not even underneath the neck, as I know you're going to talk about. That ball was on the left side.
Yeah.
It was on the near side. He reached underneath because he had to reverse angle it. But remember, the ball, the farther the ball is under your horse's neck, the more angle you're going to be able to get. Good replay here and a nice read by Nick Roldan. Now you're going to see the deep neck shot. Watch this. Snap. Not enough.
Not enough. And, on that shot, if we watch that play again, a little bit on the offside, not underneath the horse's neck.
Yeah, he could have gone a little deeper on that.
I had a 10-goal player teach me neck shot years ago, says you want to hit the ball right underneath your horse's chin. If you can't, you settle for the throat latch, but under the chin is where you want to hit it. Now, if you got a player meeting you, then you'll be straddling the line, and you could foul and have a head-on collision.
Yeah, you got it. I actually went to 2 goals hitting a neck shot the wrong way.
I had a good neck shot.
Hitting it the wrong way, Steve.
Wrong way.
Then I finally, then Memo said, "What are you doing?" Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't, right? Here you go. On the flow, on the outside, 8-8. Very tight game. Smooth, too. Everybody using each other very well. Grant Gansey waiting for Nick.
Oh, Grant Gansey put it in a bad spot where Freddie could get to it because Nick was going to break down the field on that play, and Freddie Mannix deciding what to do, but puts a open shot back over towards the center where Jason meets it perfectly, even though Mark was on the ball, and right now we're going to get a whistle.
Caught there, though. Bad luck.
Just taking a little bit too much time.
Gansey. He crossed there. Clean there, though.
Clean there.
But right here is where he gets caught, missing that one, the old line on the angle.
Yep, Jason's horse's rear quarters across the line and the right of way, so looks like
I think that might be one of the most confusing plays on the field, Steve, sometimes, even for the players in the – I was taught by actually the Argentine umpires. Well, I learned it. We were taught it in the American, but put the mallet up in the air where the old line was, because when a ball gets hit and stops and isn't moving, where's the line? And it was the old line.
Right. Yes.
And if you're as a player, you weren't aware, you might not know exactly which was the old line.
Mm-hmm.
So
yep.
Can be a very confusing play as the quick line change.
The line is the last direction the ball traveled.
Right.
You know, so you could have 6 players right over it, but it's still the last direction the ball traveled.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize that. Quick line change probably the trickiest, though.
I think so. I think for players, umpires, and spectators, and I'll tell you why is because
definitely spectators.
A player's moving in that direction, and should the line change, whether it be a divot or off the boards or a goalpost, a player just can't disappear.
Yeah.
And you know what? I mean, the question is, does it take a -1 goal player more time to clear than it does a 3-goal player? Yeah, probably so. Mm-hmm. Does it take a 4-goal player more time to clear in the second half of a period than it does in the first half? Yeah, probably so. The horse is fatigued, you know. So,
right.
But the whole idea is where the umpire's concentration should be is, are they making every concerted effort to get out of the way and take the quickest, most available exit?
Yeah, the problem is most players go the direction that they get in a better defending position.
Yeah, where they're positioned for the next play.
What's better for them, and not really what was the quickest way out. So those are some plays that you need to understand if you're just learning the game. But they are plays that the professional players do get mixed up, so we like to talk about those. Little Polo 101, 102, 103 for you right there. Here we go, back to the action with 3:20 on the clock. Fifth chucker action, 8-8. Both teams on the defense right now. We haven't seen a goal for a good 6 minutes anyways. Good ball by Crowder, and he's got Freddie checking the field, looking for the big ball. He's got Gene and Pablo out there. Gino's going to get the opportunity on the chestnut mare. A little bit of a miss hit there. Nice pickup here by Double G. Near side, offside. Now, where you at, Nick? Just slow it down, brother. We got control. He'll leave it for Roldan. Nick's going to turn it around, change the field. I like this play. Going to get going here. He's got to have Melissa or the Cobra somewhere out in front. Look for the drive. There it is, and that's going to go. Whoa, man, that's a BB. Off the back of Crowder somewhere. Not sure Steve did hit his horse or hip.
Yeah, couldn't quite tell on that play, but Crowder doing that neck shot one more time. Pretty successful at it, too, I might add, as Grant Gansey backs the ball straight down the center of the field, read by Freddie Mannix, and Freddie Mannix puts it back over where he thought Jason Crowder was turning, but Pablo Polito is going to run down Nick Roldan, who read the play nicely, and Nick Roldan on the roll right here, and Roldan sends it downfield, and Melissa Gansey right up front as well, and that's going to force Freddie Mannix to go back and play defense. And Melissa not wasting any time. One-timer. You got that right, and she splits the uprights.
I love when she hammers that, man. I love that. I just get a chuckle on it because I played a lot of polo with her, and I know how high her polo knowledge is. You know, she's picked up when we talked. We already got 2 fouls.
Yep.
On the opposing team. One of them was an open goal penalty too. Watch how she just always throws her arm through the goal. Even at the end, that little adjustment, that little follow-through.
You know what? The follow-through tells you if you've got a good swing. You know, and Owen Reinhardt said years ago, there's 2 different swings. There's one for a foul shot, which is very quick, so you get under the ball to lift it up. And then there's carrying the ball down the field.
Yeah.
And when you're carrying the ball down the field, you want to leave your mallet on the ground for about 3 feet. That way, if you're a little bit early or a little bit late, you still make contact with the ball.
Yeah, and Memo was the big guy about throwing your arm through the goal.
Yep.
And Melissa does it as well as anybody. She's very consistent. And here we go, 9-8, and we got 1 minute left here in this fifth chukker. Should be a good 6th chukker, our final chukker coming up after this. Both teams dialed in, playing well together. It's just been the opportunities to shoot on goal really here in the last 5 minutes. It's been good defense. Played around the 100 to the 100. Loose ball play, Freddie Mannix. He'll turn it up here, 30 seconds.
Mannix trying to put one more on the board and even things up here before the end of the 5th period. And Mannix, He sends a shot downfield. How far is that ball going to go? It's going to go about 120, where Grant Gansey playing the number 4 position. Defense for the number 4 position, and Nick Roldan turning things back around, trying to get back around Gene Goldstein, and now releases shot over where the Cobra is headed. Towards the near boards, not much time left on the clock, and Mark Gansey's going to give it up for Son Grant. Oh, boy, what a play right there, and Freddie Mannix almost picked it off. But now Grant Gansey right down in front. He's got Mark out front. Mark's got horse lengths on everybody, and a shot on goal overcuts it, and we will find out when we come back, and the goal judge says it's wide. So that's going to end Chucker number 5. One more to go, Dale.
Good
and
play
still,
at the end there. I love it. Nicky taking it around the hoop. I thought he might have been wasting too much time, but he found Grant, and now it was just a picture-perfect pass from Grant to his father. Cobra got a piece of it, but it looks like they're going to go ahead. We'll start with a knock-in. So when we return for our 6th and final Chucker, it will be a knock-in for Sebucan. We got a good one going here for you. Stay with us here for our 6th and final Chucker.
We're here at the Santa Rita Polo Farm where the PTF Polo ASSN Junior Tournament is being held for the first time ever at this location. And I mean, could you get a more beautiful venue? Probably not. The tournament includes players of all ages, starting with the youngest at just 2 years old and the oldest at 20 years old. So you've got all ages, all skill levels, and a whole lot of fun. Let's go check it out.
It reminds me of my days when I was in that position playing the kids tournament, and for us it meant the world. So I'm very happy to be here supporting my son and other kids as well, because I think they really enjoy this, and for them it's even more important than for us probably playing the 26 or the 22.
Well, that's a wrap on the PTF Polo ASSN Juniors Tournament at the Santa Rita Polo Farm. So much incredible talent coming up through the ranks. The future is certainly bright for the sport of polo. Now, for more information on the PTF, head to polotraining.org. And, of course, head to Chucker TV for all of our awesome content, including full game broadcasts.
Yeah, PTF. If that don't bring a smile to your face, Steve Lane, what will?
Oh, that's the future of polo, what we just saw right there.
That's the future, and we've been a big part of a lot of that. We've had a lot of fun with that, man. I got to tell you.
We actually have, and the kids are so delightful and appreciative.
Unbelievable. I tell you what, I mean, it's just a true pleasure. We do 3 a year. We do 3 or 4 a year. And Jen McNeely does an amazing job. And, she just took over the helm. And but it has been amazing to see. I mean, I remember, and you'll probably think the same way, when we grew up, we used to sit on the sideline and just hope somebody didn't show up and they needed somebody to play their horses.
Yep.
Or sticking ball. And now you got over 40 to 100 kids coming to a PTF event. And a lot of it's right here at Santa Rita, playing here on the Aspen Field. Melissa Gansey, chairman, right?
Yep, chairman of the
PTF. Yep, she loves it. She's a huge promoter of it. I'm talking about guys and girls, and a lot of the young ladies actually, believe it or not, started in Aspen. Because I know their mothers and fathers, and I know that they didn't play. And Melissa, we do a lot of it in Aspen. We have a lot of juniors, as a lot of the pro players come there to play. So we do 3 days a week with the juniors, and some of it's in. There's a good shot of Fred Mannix and Joseph Schwartz. Tracy Schwartz's son, and
going to be
attending Horton Schwartz.
Going to be attending the University of Kentucky.
Yeah, is he? Good, very cool. Yeah, played very well too this year. But yeah, so keep an eye out for the PTF. Get involved. It's a lot of fun. Here we go. 6 Chucker action, 9 to 8.
Gene Goldstein carrying the ball down the field and being ridden by Nick Roldan. Nick Roldan out there just to keep him honest, putting a little pressure on, but making Gino do the work. Gino wisely checks down. Cuts the angle down and trying to get the ball back over and towards the center where Pablo Pulido is. Can Pulido get by Grant Gansey? No, Grant Gansey's going to win the play. Nick Roldan's going to turn it back around towards the corner on the run right here. Running the turn is what they call that. And now Nick Roldan sends a bomb back down the field where Mark Gansey is. And Mark Gansey picks up the loose ball. He's got to get it back over and towards the center, which he is able to do. Now he's going to check down, look over his shoulder, and turn that ball back over towards the center. Jason Crowder's not going to make it easy for him, though. Jason Crowder unable to get the hook right here, and now they come together, and Mark Gansey tries it on the near side. That ball's still on the line, on the field.
Nothing's still in, no?
Yeah, it's still in play, but the goal judge waved it wide. So.
Oh, interesting, yeah. But if they would have played it, Jason then would have played it out anyways.
Yeah.
And maybe there's a squeaker there we couldn't see. Drone was pretty high today to be for safety based on the fields.
And here
the weather we had earlier. Jason going to go try to go coast to coast here.
He is. Well, he's wearing his goal-scoring helmet right now.
He got the goal-scoring helmet on.
Yeah, so now Nick Roldan turns things around. Going back the other way, and Mark Gansey, he's got one more time to attempt a goal, but Freddie Mannix going to jump on the line and the right away and turn it back towards the center. Gansey coming in there, horse kicking the ball just a little bit. Freddie, he can find it. Mark Gansey still staying with him. Very disciplined, these two. They have stuck together all day
I got
today.
a feeling they're going to be sitting next to each other at the asado later.
Rubbing elbows one more time.
Well, we're going to an asado right over here at the Santanita Polo Farm afterwards, so we're not joking with you, but I guarantee they ate dinner with each other together. They've been together all day. Might as well.
Yeah.
Here we go. Go me, Nick.
Roldan. He gets around Pulido, and now Roldan. A high lofting shot down the field. Mark Gansey being ridden out by Jason Crowder. Freddie Mannix coming back there as well. Melissa's in the mix. Freddie Mannix turns it back over towards the side, opens it up just a little bit too much where he couldn't get back to it. And now Melissa, once again, Nick Roldan going down for the Melissa Gansey pass, but just Freddie Mannix anticipated it well. Backs the ball out of danger over to Crowder. Crowder trying to get some offense going where he's got Pulido and Gene Goldstein. Pulido's going to pick up the ball, and Pulido puts it over to the right-hand side. Goldstein unable to get to it. Grant Gansey takes his time, turns it back outside towards the boards. Now going to give a little bit of run. Grant Gansey and Nick Roldan are back. Crowder, he goes in for the hook. Grant Gansey avoids the hook and sending it over towards the goal, but a little bit shy of Melissa, and Freddie Mannix once again playing defense on the near side. Now back towards the center, trying to get by Gansey. Mannix controlling the ball. Sends it over towards the center of the field. He says, Pablo, I got it. Follow me up. Now on the near side for Mannix. Goldstein in the center. Goldstein's going to fall in behind two. Mannix tries to open up that shot with a cut shot, and Pulido sends the ball back up front to Mannix. But Mark Gansey has Mannix ridden out, and Grant Gansey comes in for a back shot. Once again, Mannix picks up the loose ball, anticipates the back shot. Nick Roldan, he has to stay out of the right of way, but he does, and Mannix checks up, allows Nick Roldan to go in and make the play. A hook there by Mannix, and that deflects the ball just a little bit, and Pablo Pulido comes in, flattens out, never crosses that line, does a great play. Picked up now by Grant Gansey. And
they're going to call a Kersey change here.
I think that's a wise choice.
One. I need one. You need one.
Yeah.
I don't need one. You need one. Yeah. Bring the oxygen tank in for Steve.
There we go.
Wow, what a chucker. And the level of speed went up there. Everybody was just running everywhere. But the perfect example why you have the Kersey change. Dude, four straight minutes straight. And we went through it this morning. Remember, they're getting ready to run the Preakness here. And they run the Preakness in about a minute 53. Well, at least Secretary did. The rest of them run it in about 2 minutes. 2:10, 2 whatever. And they ran the Kentucky Derby this year at 2:07, Steve was saying. And Secretariat ran at 1:59. Belmont, Secretariat ran at 2:24. And that's the longest race, 12 furlongs. And you just watched every one of those amazing four-legged athletes run 4 minutes straight. You know, no timeout.
Back in 1981 and 82, I worked with a thoroughbred farm, and they had some Secretariat weanlings on the ground. And back then, in 81 and 82, Secretariat stud fee was $125,000.
Right.
I mean, I don't know what that would be in today's market.
Today's millions.
But $125,000 for the stud fee way back then.
Millions.
You know?
Yeah, because I remember seeing Seattle Slew, I think, when he was like at Lang's End. You know?
Yeah.
Which
Lane's End. Yeah.
Yeah. And he was in his 20s.
Yeah.
And he was up there on his stud feet still in his 20s. He was swayed back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
amazing.
Right. Yep, Lane's End Farm. Yeah.
Yep.
I've never taken a tour of that because
I got to do the millionaire tour.
Have you ever
Or
heard
the
of
billionaire tour, whatever they call it? I think you got to be a billionaire.
Have you ever heard of Lane Furniture?
Lane Furniture?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have one of those couches.
Well, my family has nothing to do with that.
Got to do that.
Just like Lane's End Farm.
Yeah, Lane's End. Beautiful. What a beautiful place. Callan Strauss, polo player.
There you go.
And Callan takes care of all of the 2-year-olds. So I had the opportunity, actually, with Mark's father, with Wally Gansey.
With Wally, yeah.
When I played for Wally Gansey, Mark's father, grandfather, and, of course, Melissa's father-in-law, who used to play polo. And he actually started it off. Got the Ganseys going in polo. Here we go. 2 minutes left here. 1 goal difference. That's not enough, as you got to keep it going here, and this team can get it done. Pablo's going to turn it to the center. Keep it going to there, but good read by the Cobra. Going to stay out in front of Mannix. Gets a little bit on it. Pablo's going to stay out in front of Nick there. This ball's going to go up against the boards, though. Freddie's going to shut it down, send everybody forward, and hit the big ball. That's what keeps him going, but he gets the lob wedge out. That's going to work better for Nick. Nick's going to control here, take it back as the clock goes tick, tick, tick. Roldan knows it. He waits for an open player. Good read. Can they get it, keep it going? They do. Well, look at Double G just taking on the whole Sebucan team here. Well done, Grant. Loose ball play. Crowder checks his shoulder. Goes for the big ball, gets the lob wedge. Bad luck. Loose ball play, the old line. Right on it, Crowder. You have a 3-on-2 here. Freddie's going to have an opportunity to get a tie. Grant, Fred with the neck shot, and the high flag with 1 minute left.
There you go. Things all tied up one more time. And wow, Sebucan doing a lot of work right here. Right here, Jason Crowder coming back to get his own back shot. And right to Freddie Mannix. Grant Gansey a little bit too wide right here, but Freddie Mannix brings it back towards the center. And now just a neck shot. Fred making it look easy right there. And that's where you hit the ball right underneath the horse's chin, right in front of the 2 front legs. And Mannix successfully puts it on through. So we'll have a quick whistle here and attack adjustment. And things knotted up. And not much time left, Dale.
Yeah, we'll check that out. They probably shut that down a little bit earlier out there, so it might be a little off here at the end, but we'll be able to see it. But, yeah, that's perfectly – we were talking about the neck shot?
Yes.
That was perfect.
Yep.
Fred Mannix just hit that just perfect. Not just hit it, but lined it up perfectly. So it looks like a couple of the boots there, and the back tenon boots are coming off. Fred's just going to go ahead and take them off, finish. And I don't know if you had a broken. No, it's not broken. Mouth's not broken. Just down on the ground there. So,
yeah, I think
umpire Dorniak's just going to take the back boots off. I think he's going to finish without them.
Yep. That's Freddie's mallet laying there. And of course, some of these horses had their leg wraps put on in the boots, and then it rained. And of course, Jason stepping all over Fred's mallet.
It's giving a little Crowder love.
Yeah.
Steve taught him that.
Oh, okay.
His daddy.
All right. Yeah. But anyhow, those leg wraps and the boots get a little bit heavy and they slide down. So Fred says, hey, 30 seconds left. Let's take them off. And it's safer without them.
This is win the possession and go to goal.
This is
That's the game plan right now, Steve. Let's see which team can get possession and go to goal. We haven't seen a lot of goals scored out of the Bolin, but I guess Sebucan probably winning the most, right? When you say they won the first half.
Yeah, they did the first half.
By 50% more.
Yep.
Right?
Yes. Yep, and important bowling right here, and I think whoever wins is going to be corking it right down the field, and Melissa gets a stab at it. Gene Goldstein finishes it off, and Nick Roldan goes back to retrieve it. Oh, his horse steps on the ball. Bad luck. Gene Goldstein beats him back around. Gene Goldstein can be the hero right now, and Goldstein with a difficult cut shot, but Roldan comes in on the near side and swipes that ball away. Roldan in the far corner working the ball on the near side, and now lets his pony's head drop. Nick Roldan running out of time here in the tie ball game and sends a bomb down the field. Anybody home? Oh, Fred Mannix couldn't quite get the back shot off, and now Mark Gansey has a run. Pablo Polito has to go to the spur to go back and get him, and that's going to end the chucker, and we are tied up, so it looks like sudden death coming our way.
Sudden death overtime, 9-9. Wow, this should be a fun one. So I think they should be pretty quick. We'll see if they have horses on the side ready to go. If not, we might have a little bit longer break. But we'll go ahead and check with our mounted official down there. Looks like they got a lot of the trainers have some horse going there. So stay with us. Tied up. We'll get ready for sudden death overtime. Chucker number 7, who will face off against Travieso in the 2023 Eastern Challenge. World Polo League right there. Remember, WPLPride.com. Get your tickets on the 26th and 27th, 28th. And super fun time. Here we go. 7 chuckers. And I don't want to say this is an omen, but Travieso scored 9 goals today to win their round robin, Steve. They scored 3 goals in the first 3 chuckers. They scored 6 goals. And in the second 3 chuckers, that equals 9 with my simple math. And look at where we're at here, 9-9.
I think I see a pattern.
I see a pattern, too. So very even teams picked this week by the tournament committee. They do a fabulous job. Remember, That's what we do in the spring. Cobra waiting for his horse, and I'm sure it's going to be a Machina because Cobra is not playing in the 7 chucker on anything that he's not doesn't think he can't win on. I know the Cobra. Trust me.
Yep.
Juan Bellini, Director of Operations right there, left side. Good to see Juan. Played this morning. Tamacho in the black shirt right there. And, of course, here comes the Cobra. So, sudden death overtime. First play team to score will win. And this is going to be a big advantage, I believe, for for Casablanca.
Yeah, I think you're right. It looks like 60-yard bowl in from the center to the boards, and it's at the offensive end of Casablanca. So,
but you know this Sebucan team, man, they're going to be, well, they've won. We will see here how many you noticed. You said on your own that you thought they won more here in the second half. They definitely won the first half all the way out the back. Neutral ball. They win another.
Oh, yes, they do. And Freddie Mannix pounds one down the field, but nobody home. And Nick Roldan's going to go back and try and change that. Nick Roldan, Jason Crowder keeping a tight leash on Roldan. And now Roldan chooses to go down the boards and now going to come back in behind Crowder where Crowder doesn't have a play. Nick Roldan sends it right down the field. Melissa Ganzi on that black pony and Pablo Polito coming in there as well. Melissa with a one-time shot. Just wide to the left-hand side.
Good D.
Yeah.
You got to do it. Got to give out to Pablo there. Tough to make the play. He runs over the goalpost. Go and defend the goal. Made it a little tougher for Melissa on the shot.
Yes. Yep. And if she'd hit a shot between the post, he was there to block it with his pony or
no. And Melly in a good spot as always. She's always in a good spot. Nick and Melissa have been playing pole together a long time. They're always in the right spot. You know. Here we go. Nick's going to win the bowling.
And Roldan trying to get it off the boards. Polito staying right there with him as well. And now Pablo. Nick just a half a horse length ahead. And Nick Roldan still has that offensive pink team downfield with the Cobra and Melissa. But the ball's going to drop on Freddie Mannix's offside. And Mannix slows things down. Tries to get it back up to Polito. Polito has to stay on the near side with Ganzi right there. And Ganzi hooks him out of the play. And that allows Nick Roldan to come back around with an offensive play. And Mannix staying right there with Nick. Hooked out of there, and a great play there by Mannix, not only hooking Roldan out of the play, but backing the ball, and we have a 2-on-1 situation. And now Mark Ganzi has to go back and play a little defense. And, you know, the way things are going right here, Dale, I don't see a quick finish.
I told you, 9 chuckers later, you watch.
This one
could go
This chucker could last a while, and Nick Roldan.
You've got the Cobra on front here.
And Cobra, somebody let him loose, and now Cobra on the move and going to go by Melissa, and Mark Ganzi is going to finish things off. So Casablanca once again in the finals against Travi Aso, and what a game we've had.
What a finish, back and forth. And as you said, you know, it's one of these two teams are so matched up, Steve, it could have went to 8 or 9 chuckers back and forth. And nice ball here by Nick, and watch Cobra gets out in front, sneaks away from Eddie. Melissa lets Mark ride by, and a good finish. Dead center. Gets the high flag. So there you go. Be interested in these final stats right here. Here they come. 10-9. Shots on goal. Look at that. Casablanca. Wow. 18, Steve. And 8 knock-ins by Sebucan. Now, they got to get a little better there if they're going to beat this Travieso team.
Yes. Yep.
That's a lot of shots, so I like that. Coaching them, I like the shots, but too many misses. So they got to dial that in. Look at the throw-ins. They got to get a little better there, too. 10 more throw-ins won by Sebucan. That is a huge amount in the game, 6-chucker game. Very clean. That wasn't you didn't have to worry about that. Only one 30-yarder made, so that's not a big deal. But they got to get those shots, get their percentage to be a little better, I think.
Yeah, they certainly do.
Yeah,
so.
And it's going to be a good one. Well, the stage is set for the 2023 Eastern Challenge. Travieso will face off against Casablanca on Sunday. But remember, we will have our preliminary match, which will be against Sebucan, Santa Rita, and Fly Polo. For Steve Lane, I'm Dale Schwetz. I speak for everyone here at CTV Sports when I say thank you for making us leaders in polo broadcasting. And always remember here at CTV Sports, we love the polo.